And we are underway in Buffalo. And a little dangerous there, almost a penalty, but it does get into the end zone before going over the sideline for a touchback. His first carry, and he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Now Allen. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That one covers 29 yards. First down.
That's going to be a good matchup for him. He's going to out of the backfield tunnels of the Packers. You're not going to have to try and run with him, but you're going to have to try and tackle him in the open field.
That's quickly out wide to Davis. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Here's Hines. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. Now this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. And the Raiders are going to get it back here just past the 35. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy. It's not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They begin the drive on the ground. It's Wayne. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. First carry for Josh Jacobs. And he'll push forward to the 37, gain of 2.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here. offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Showtime! Let's make some noise! Get it done now! Let's go work for it! You got this! We got it!
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing his car on 3rd down. And finding Keelan Cole. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. After getting that turnover on the first drive of the game, you'd hate to just stall out the momentum, go 3 and out. They're able to avoid that there.
Yeah, we talk about complementary football all the time, but I think it's a little bit deeper than that. Defense went out, forced a turnover, gave the ball to the offense. It's now the offense's responsibility to pay that off for them, to show respect to them. Hey, you guys got the turnover. We appreciate it. They want to continue their drive.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he is going to lose yardage here. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Once again, it's Jacobs. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. It's complete to Cole. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Here's Jacobs. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. 2nd and goal from the 1. One more time with Jacobs. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. In motion, the tight end. They'll run it with Jacobs. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And their opening drive, that ended with the interception. Fortunate, though, it didn't lead to points.
It didn't lead to points, and because they kind of got away with one, maybe you come back and throw something similar again to show that you're not afraid, that you're not going to back down, and take your shot. Let the defense know that you're going to be there all game long.
Back to the ground, this time Cook. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Allen going to try and throw on third down. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs.
And he is going to have a Bills first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's what really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. This is Hines. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Denzel Perryman there to bring him down. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
It seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Allen. That's caught by his tight end, Dawson Knox.
Finding space at the 40. Look at the big fella go. And he will step out of bounds here inside the 30.
A big play there on the catch and run. And even 50 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. The slot man in motion right. They run with Hines. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
62 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. 1st and goal at the 1.
Allen taking it himself. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 1. Allen now on the sneak. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. 2 minutes on the clock in what's been a scoreless first half. This Raider defense not giving in. They'll try to hold once more on 3rd and goal. Allen taking it himself, and he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. The sneak successful from a yard out, and the Bills go 98 yards and finish it off in the end zone.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And it's now a 7-0 game.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They'll be looking to match that touchdown from a moment ago. 7-0 is the score as they begin with the first down. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now Carr. Got a man. It's Darren Waller. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. 39 yards there, a big one.
Now that certainly solidifies how to attack this 2-minute drill right before the half. I don't think they were going to try and run out the clock, but now after that big play, their thoughts are certainly of trying to score and get some points before the half.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. From the 36, Carr. Ball hit as he throws there, incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They come up now, 3rd and 5, following the incomplete pass. To throw, it's Carr. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
They love to try to take advantage of his height, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them try to run it back and try it again, maybe with a little less mustard on the throw.
And that is no good. And this will stay at a 7-point game.
And now 2 problems as I see it. First, you missed the kick, which granted was a long one. But second, you set the other guys up with good field position and enough time to maybe get downfield and get a field goal attempt of their own.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
He's thrown 1 interception already, and that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the game is going to go like that. But it does seem that he's a little bit off in his approach to this one.
Yeah, it does, and that was a risky throw right there.
Got to be careful about taking care of the ball, making sure you get back within yourself. I mean, those mechanics that they work on all the time, they're there for a reason. Kind of get back to those and maybe tamp it down a little bit.
Allen again here on 2nd and 10. He's got the hook up with Diggs. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. And they'll send the tight end in motion. Operating from the red zone now. Allen. And he's going to lose a yard or 2. Taken down behind the line. Divine Diablo dropping him behind the line of scrimmage.
At the Raiders' 20-yard line.
And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. The kick by Bass is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Raiders are going to have it first, and they trail here as we get back to it in this third quarter of action. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half. Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. White running to the left. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
So their task a little bit more difficult now. 2nd and 13 that they're walking up on. Throwing now is Carr. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Bills are going to take possession of the football.
That has to be a little bit discouraging because after all that time, adjustments and points of emphasis, the first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
Now it's Hines. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. 73 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. They run again with Hines. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
On second down, Cook. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. They'll send the big tight end in motion right. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. First down, here's the run with Cook. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. A toss to Cook. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it'll set him up 1st and goal.
Inside the red zone, and that means don't come away from there with anything less than 3 points, but everyone's thinking about 6. They're trying to get to the end zone. They decide to run a toss. Big people up front being mobile and moving, and a running back trying to follow behind them to find yardage, and that's exactly what he did.
They'll run with Cook. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right. They run it again with Cook. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal.
56, 56.
Allen now looks to throw. And he's got his tight end Knox for a Bills touchdown. 8 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Bills are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game. No No surprise there. 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, he might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. And, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. This run defense has been pretty stout all game long. Now you're here in the 4th quarter. Just rely more on the passing attack.
I don't think you have any choice, and I don't think you have to dress it up at all either. Throughout the first 3 quarters, you're still trying to convince the defense that you may run the football. That's out the window right now. Protect, let your quarterback operate, and try to find some targets in the open field downfield. Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Bills are going to take possession of the football. Well, offensively, Charles, hard to put a silver lining on this one. No secret that they've had to take chances with the score where it is, and it leads to a turnover.
I love how you paint the picture, partner, because you're exactly right about that one. Look at the empty stares on that sideline. This is one of those games where you just want to go crawl under a rock until it's over.
They'll try the middle with Cook, and he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Throwing now is Allen. The try. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
They run. Cook. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Allen. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Here's Allen. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I know ultimately that feels like a good defensive play, but I know it's really not. They had a chance to keep points off the board. Now they have a chance to kick a field goal by missing that shot.
Yeah, especially at this spot in the field. He's got to be upset he can't go all that game today. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3, and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. Just silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run.
He's got a man complete. And he's going to get this down near the 25.
As crazy as it seems, this is something you should expect. Long passes downfield that get tipped in the air.
Yeah, this is what keeps the DBs up at night, though, these types of plays.
Drives them crazy because you actually practice it. It's called the tip drill. You're supposed to tip it up, and if it is up in the air, go get it. Instead, the offensive guy pulled it down.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Once again, it's Jacobs, and he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. A handoff, Jacobs running to the left. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Raiders are finally on the board here in the fourth quarter. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that cuts this lead down to 13. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. So Allen's going to look to throw. And the Raiders have got him. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Here's Allen to throw it. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Carlson on for the PAT. And it's good. The deficit 6, 20-14. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. On 2nd down, right back to Hines. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now. They went with the run-pass option, and I don't know if the option really mattered there because the defense was ready.
So many times you put the defense at a disadvantage because you have those multiple options, but when they read their keys and play it correctly, sometimes the result goes in their favor.
Here's the punter, Martin, out to kick it away. This is taken at the 18. A good return there, 17 yards. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
One final try now for Carr. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. A fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.